Welcome back to Deaton Street. I'm Zach. He's Dustin. And today we're going to talk about who we think won the AI announcement war. But before we do that, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps us out a ton. It's free for you. We've seen some really cool growth this month, and we're hoping to continue that. So thank you if you already have. And if you haven't, please consider it. So Mallett, we have a few different categories that we've picked out to where we're going to kind of go back and forth and decide who we think won this announcement war that went on last week. So we're going to start off with quality versus quantity. We're going to go into what we think the most exciting singular announcement from each side is, release timelines, and then we have a special bonus section at the end where we'll go back and forth and figure that out. But why don't you start us off with quality versus quantity?
So for Google, for the Gemini, Google I/O, the main takeaways I had for that one is they announced a ton of new features like Project Astra, generative AI, music, pictures, and video, the Gemini workspace. I personally like the Gmail integration. And then basically it's just like a Gemini takeover.
Mm-hmm.
So it integrates with a bunch of the apps you already use. And I think it probably will primarily be a lot of Google apps, but we'll see.
So it seems like Google hit hard with the quantity side of things.
Mhm.
It felt like watching it was like one more thing, the Apple thing, except it was just over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I think ChatGPT tried to focus on quality. And so the presentations weren't as clean. They weren't as polished. They were more raw and stripped back. But I actually like that because it helped us see the model in action rather than the pre-recorded demos and like the high production value. And while I think some people might argue that the like production value quality was on Google's side, I think for folks that are looking at this type of thing and looking at AI models, it's better to actually see them in practice.
Yeah.
See the mess ups, which OpenAI had like a few little hiccups, but I think that's better quality as far as like letting the consumer figure out how these things actually work.
Yeah, like Google's, they had a few little spots in their like presentation and everything that they did a live demo, but let's say for the record player, for instance, right? She does the little record player demonstration, but then it quickly goes back to the big screen, and I don't think that video was the same one that was recorded right there. Obviously, they couldn't throw that up on the screen that fast, but there's a level of like pre-production that happened there.
A little bit of Hollywood trickery, maybe.
Yeah.
I also thought it was funny that Sam Altman or someone from OpenAI tweeted out the pictures of like the different vibes in the two announcements. I do think that the vibe of OpenAI was a little bit relatable, I would say.
Was it more chill?
A little bit more chill, a little bit more relatable. Google's kind of felt like
it was like a big conference, like a big like con, a convention type deal.
But the vibes were like Crayola. That's the only thing I could think of the whole time was like crayons.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. So, what was your announcement that you were most excited about?
I think for ChatGPT, the multimodal chatbot with the more human interaction is their big announcement and the thing that I'm most excited about. For me, the way that I use AI is almost as a sounding board for my ideas. If I'm prepping something, if I'm outlining something, sometimes even with thumbnails, I'll run it by there. And the ability to have a more realistic human, almost like a working partner that you're working with, I think that was huge. That's the direction that a lot of creatives want AI to go, I think. So that was it for me. What about Google?
The Project Astra, I was really excited about. I think a lot of people are really excited about that one because it's their multimodal, like the video chatbot portion of it. Even past Gemini there. I'm still impressed that it could find the glasses, which I did go back and watch it. I think more accurately, it is recognizing a tag. Right? Because those are like some Google glasses that they didn't announce. Because I watched it back and they weren't in frame but I think it works kind of like it's got like a geotag on it, like an AirTag
Okay.
but integrated with the glasses, and it says, "Oh, I've located that. Boom, it's on the desk right behind you." But I think that might be a little more of the speed of how it's going to recognize things like that to locate devices with
Hmm.
your tracking and stuff like that. But some of the other stuff was really impressive too with it.
So this is something you might know, you might not know, but where were those glasses that they were using to record? Was this like some secret project, or is it something that I missed because I'm not a Google guy, or what?
So I saw a few articles that they referenced the glasses, and they said that like Google kind of just dropped that little Easter egg in there. They didn't look like the Ray-Ban Meta glasses,
Hmm.
so that might be something that Google is in development with. They could essentially restart the Google Glass, the little eyewear piece that they made years ago. That could be that an answer to an updated version of that, which would be pretty exciting. Especially if it integrates with Gemini the way that it was demoed in their, produced video of it.
Right.
But the idea is really cool.
So I think with the like most exciting announcements, it's interesting that both of us are kind of on the same page with the different
Hmm.
AIs, right? It's we want multimodal stuff
Yeah.
that is a little bit more humanistic. So cool. So let's go straight into release timelines. What's out? What can you get now? What do we have to wait for? Who wins in that regard?
So with Google, both models were available as a preview, but the full release will likely drop in June sometime. So within the next, I don't know, few weeks,
Mhm.
maybe at the end of June. I didn't really see a specific date, but June is what they're expecting. What about GPT?
So kind of like Google, because I think also all the other Google stuff is they said like within the next few weeks, search is
Hmm.
going to change, and they're kind of rolling it out as we go, I think, through the
Yeah.
summer. ChatGPT 4.0 is out. You can access that new model. It was available same day for some paid users, and free users are supposed to have it rolled out with, limits to how many questions you can
Hmm.
ask. The Mac app is also being rolled out. Other features are going the way of Google. They'll take weeks to roll out. The new, more human voice chat is going to be rolled out. Also, the multimodal stuff is supposed to be rolled out within weeks. We don't have an exact timeline on that. One
Yeah.
thing I'd like to say on the Mac app, though, even though I'm supposed to be defending ChatGPT today, the Mac app is silicone only, which ticks me off as an Intel
Oh,
user. Yeah. So
yeah, got
I
silicone, baby.
I do not have Apple's a Mac
uh,
with Apple Silicone. I might have to go get one eventually, but
yeah,
this I have a very powerful Intel iMac that I use for all my stuff. So
yeah. The most important category here. This is the bonus one. Loop Daddy or no Loop Daddy?
I can confirm that OpenAI did not have Loop Daddy at their announcement. I think that held them back. I think that they had the quality. I think that they released a model the same day that people could use. Even though Google had the quantity over them, they also had Loop Daddy. And I think that's the thing that really, really held them back. And it
Hmm.
disappointed me in OpenAI and quite frankly, Sam Altman.
I was just blown away by the professionalism that was Google. They opened up with, and Loop Daddy is Mark Rabille or Mark Rabillet, whatever his name is.
Mhm.
He's a DJ, but he was using the generative AI music stuff, right? So it was a cool preview of it. But the fact that they had the man up there performing a set was awesome,
Yep. Yep. Shout out
and
Loop Daddy. He deserves that too. Like I've
yeah.
watched this stuff for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible musician, very talented.
Yeah.
Um, you like to see that type of thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think Google won simply because of that. I'm kidding. Who do we think that actually won this?
You know, it, I honestly do. I do think that ChatGPT, the ability to have something out the same day,
Yeah.
generates a little bit more buzz. I've not heard a lot of my family and friends talking about the Gemini stuff. I also think
Mhm.
that ChatGPT has more of name recognition, even though that Google is Google. Not a lot of people
Yeah.
know Gemini. Also got kind of confused with all of the lexicon of Google, to be honest with you. There's
Gemini,
Gemini,
Gemma with
that you got
gems, and we got
Gems,
the
Project Astra. Like it's like there's just
yeah,
a lot of. Again, I think they had a lot of quantity. Did they have the
yeah,
quality? I don't know.
yeah.
What do you
Who
think?
knows? I don't know. I think I mean, I'm a big fan of Google. I got the Nest stuff in my room. A lot of the apps I use on my iPhone are Google. Why don't I have a Pixel? I have a MacBook and all of my other stuff is Apple. There you go. Uh, I think because the Gemini app isn't available on iOS yet, and I have
Mhm.
to go through the Google app and then go to the Gemini tab, it's a no for me, dog. Uh, GBT, I have an app and I can get it on my MacBook if I wanted to. Like, it's readily available right now. I can test it, and do that. So like GBT-1 in that regard, uh, sure, Google's got the quantity, but I just haven't seen it yet. I don't have my hands on it.
So that's what we think. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. You don't have to agree with us. We love to hear just good conversations about these type of things. So
Hmm.
let us know, and we'll see you in a couple days.
Cool.
Peace.
So yeah.
I'm walking the streets of nowhere.